Good morning everyone. Today we are going to discuss about some possible question and answers in chapter 1. What are the advantages and disadvantages of peer-to-peer network? There are many advantages and disadvantages. First we will discuss the advantages. It's easy to set up, less complex, lower cost, and then it is used for simple tasks like transferring files and sharing the printers. These are all the advantages. Disadvantages: no centralized administration, not as secure, not scalable, and slower performance. So we already discussed about the advantages and disadvantages in the chapter 1. So if you want answer is available in chapter 1 slide 3. What is an intermediary network device? A network is compromised or composed of hosts, end devices, intermediary and network devices. So we should know what is an intermediary device. For example, if I want to connect 3 or 4 PC and a printer, so definitely without the help or support of an intermediary device we cannot connect it. So an intermediary device interconnect the end devices. The intermediary devices are used to create a LAN, or the intermediary devices are used to connect two LANs. Say for example, if you want to connect 4 or 5 PC, definitely you require a switch. Switch is an intermediary device. If you want to connect two LAN, you require a router. Router is an intermediary device. Okay. Write any 4 examples for intermediary network devices. So what are the examples for the intermediary network devices? Switches, routers, wireless access points, and firewalls. Yes, wireless access point is also an intermediary device. How? For example, you have a modem in your home, right? So that is what the wireless access point, and you have a lot of mobiles, right? So which connects all your mobiles together. So that is act as an intermediary device. Firewall, yes, firewall is also an intermediary device, right? What are the roles and responsibilities of the intermediary devices? Already we discussed about host and end devices. We know what are the responsibilities of the end devices. The end devices are responsible for generating the message and sending the message. So the messages are sent and received by the end devices. Okay. Now what are the responsibilities of the intermediary devices? If you see the intermediary device is responsible for the management of data as it flows through the network, and it regenerates and retransmits the data signals. For example, if you see the routers will receive the message or packet from the source, and then it will regenerate the packet and retransmit the data signal or packets to the next hop router or to the destination. And it maintains information about what pathway exists in the network to the destination, how many paths are available to reach the destination. So this thing is available in the routing table, different paths, and then it will notify the communication failure and error messages to the neighboring devices. So these are all the roles and responsibilities of an intermediary network device. So answer available in chapter 1 slide 5. What are the different types of network medias are available to exchange the data across the network, right? So there are 3 different types of network medias are available. So metal wire within the cable, glass or plastic fiber within the cable. The last one is wireless transmission. We know that in general we know the copper cables, what we are using in our lab and in our home, and the fiber optic cable, which is very expensive but it is very fast compared to the copper cable. Wireless transmission, this is also plays a vital role in our life. Today we are using our mobile, and we are connecting our mobile with to the internet using the wireless. So these are all the 3 different medias available to exchange the data across the network. Okay, which type of network media represent the data in the form of electrical pulse? So out of these 3, copper cable, fiber optic cable, wireless transmission, which one? Come on, tell me. What is the right answer? So the copper cable. So a copper cable always converts the data in the form of electrical pulses or electrical signals. Okay. Which type of network media represent the data in the form of light signal? So which media will convert the data in the form of light signal? Obviously it is fiber optic cable. Fiber optic cable always converts the data in the form of light signals. Okay. Which type of network media represents the data in the form of radio frequency waves? So copper cable and fiber optic cable already we discussed. So the last one is wireless transmission. It always converts the data signal in the form of radio frequency waves or radio frequency signals. For example, which media is used to connect to LAN? How do you represent it? Good question. For example, I have two LANs, LAN 1 and LAN 2. There are two local area networks are there. I want to connect this two local area network. How do you connect? We already studied about how to represent different types of media, how to represent the wireless media, how to represent the LAN media, how to represent the WAN media. So how do you connect this two LAN? By using a WAN media. How do you represent the WAN media? So a WAN media is represented like a zigzag line, red color zigzag line. Okay, right. Which media is used to connect a wireless router and a wireless tablet? How do you represent it? This is the question for you. You have to find the answer and you have to write the answer in a piece of paper or something. Come on, do it. It's a task for you. Okay. What is the difference between physical topology diagram and logical topology diagram? We already discussed about this. Physical topology diagram illustrates the physical location or geographical location of the device, and then about the cable installation, it provides a lot of information, whereas the logical topology diagram provides logical information like IP addressing, port number, this information. Usually in physical topology diagram we are able to understand the location of the device, the building name, room number, in which shelf, in which rack it is available. All the information we are able to understand from the physical topology diagram. From logical topology diagram we can understand in which network the device is connected, what is the IP address of that network, and in which port the devices are connected. So all this information we can understand from the logical topology diagram. Okay, compare LAN and WAN. You know what is the use of LAN and what is the use of WAN. Okay, now we will compare this LAN and WAN. First we will see what is the purpose of the LAN, what is the purpose of the WAN. The LAN is used to interconnect the end devices in a limited area. Limited area means in a small circle, or in a school, or in a home, or in an office. Okay, so the objective of the LAN is to interconnect the end devices. Say for example, if you want to connect two PCs, a printer, or something like that, if you want to connect these devices, you can use a LAN. Where do we use the WAN? A WAN is used to interconnect the LANs over the wide geographical area. If you want to connect two LAN, definitely you require a WAN. So that is the difference between the LAN and WAN. A WAN is used to connect more than one LAN or two LANs over a wide geographical area. Right. Now we will compare the administrative part of the LAN and the WAN. If you see the administrative part, usually the LAN is administrated by a single administrator or a single person, whereas this WAN is administrated by an internet service provider, and it requires multiple administrator to control or manage the WAN. So this is a comparison between administrative part of the LAN and WAN. Then we'll discuss about the speed of the LAN and WAN. The LAN provides a high speed bandwidth to the internal devices, to the connected devices, whereas this WAN provides the slower speed link between the LAN. So I hope you understand. We know what is internet, so everyone knows about it. So now the question is, what is intranet and what is extranet? So these two things are two new terms. Definitely we should know about this new terms. What is intranet and what is extranet? Intranet is a private collection of LANs and WANs, which is internal to the organization, that is meant to be accessible only to the organization members or others with authorization. So what is an extranet? Extranet is also similar to intranet. It allows the employees of the organizations to access. At the same time, it allows the employees who work in the different organization to access the network. So that is the difference between the intranet and extranet. So differentiate intranet and extranet, you have to write. So take a piece of paper, from your understanding, start writing the answer. What are the different types of internet connection available for home and small office? So I just want to know the internet connection types available for home and small office. We can get the internet connection for our home or small office through cable, DSL, cellular, satellite, dial-up phone. So already we discussed about this. Okay, I want to ask a question. For example, my house is in Jabal Akhtar, where the internet connection is not possible through wired or wireless. So how can I get the internet for my home? So from this 5, which method I can use? Come on, tell me the answer. Can I use cable? Not possible. DSL? Not possible. Cellular? Not possible. And then dial-up phone? Not possible. If you are in a desert or if you are in a remote area, the only thing is you can get the internet for your home through satellite. Okay. Explain any 2 types of internet connections available for home and small office. That means you have to explain about cable or DSL or cellular, how it works, how to get. So that's it. So that also an homework for you. So you have to find out the answer and then you have to write it. What are the different types of internet connections available for business internet connection? So internet connections are of different types. Basically, for home, for business, they are providing separate internet connections. For business or corporate use, there are 4 different types of internet connections are available: dedicated, leased line, DSL, Ethernet WAN, and then dedicated, leased line, Ethernet WAN, DSL, and satellite. So these are all the 4 different types. Usually, if you see, there is a major difference between the requirement of the internet connection requirement between the home and the business. Whereas if you see the business internet connection, the requirements are different. So we will see this question. What are the requirements of corporate or business internet connection? Usually it requires higher bandwidth. It requires a dedicated connection, that is an end-to-end connection between the internet service provider and the organization, and it provides managed services. So these are all the requirements of the corporate business internet connection. Okay, so the next question is explain any 2 types of internet connections available for business internet connection. So from this dedicated, leased line, Ethernet WAN, DSL or satellite, you have to explain about that. So I want to tell you one thing here. In business internet connection, we are using the DSL, a digital subscriber line. In my chapter 1 also I mentioned that there are 2 types of DSL, ADSL and SDSL. ADSL is used in a home. ADSL means asynchronous digital subscriber line. In that, the uploading speed and downloading speed are different. In business, we are using the SDSL. In this, the uploading speed and downloading speed are same. Synchronized symmetric digital subscriber line. What is a converged network? We know that converged network is a single network which provides different services through a single network. So a converged network can deliver voice, data, video over the single or same network infrastructure. And then this network infrastructure uses the same set of rules and standard to manage all the data, voice and videos. What are the four basic characteristics of network architecture? We know that fault tolerance, scalability, quality of service, and security. So define fault tolerant network. For example, if you have only one route to reach the internet, for example, if that route fails, your network will be isolated or you cannot reach the internet. So what we have to do, we should have a redundant path to reach the internet. So a fault tolerant network limits the impact of the failure by limiting the number of affected devices. How? By creating multiple paths required for the fault tolerant. So you have to create the alternative path or multiple path to reach the destination or the internet. So that is what a fault tolerant network. So what is a scalable network? Scalable network means which should have the capacity to grow, or if you add more number of devices in that existing network, it should not affect the performance of the existing user as well as the existing application. So what is a scalable network? A scalable network can expand quickly and easily to support new users and applications without impacting the performance of the services to the existing users. Briefly explain the two main types of network security that must be addressed. If you see, there are two main types of securities are there. One is network information security, network infrastructure security. The second one is information security. What is this network infrastructure security? The network infrastructure security provides physical security for the network devices like routers, switches, and other devices. Also, it prevents the unauthorized access to the device. It will not allow any unauthorized users to access the devices. So, network infrastructure security provides the physical security for the network resources. Understand? Information security. So, information security provides protection for the information or data transmitted over the network. So, right now here the next question is, what is the difference between network infrastructure security and information security? Come on, from the previous question, from the above question, you have to develop the answer, you have to write the answer. So it's a homework for you, you have to do it. So what are the recent network trends that are available for use? So this is also a question for you, because we already discussed there are different types of new trends are introduced. Bring your own devices, online collaboration, cloud computing. So these are all the different types of new trends available. So you have to write all about this. And the next question is briefly explain about new trends and recent trends. So you have to explain any one of the trend. So what is smart home technology? Smart home technology is a growing trend that allows technology to be integrated into everyday appliances, which allows them to interconnect with other devices. So today from our mobile phone we can control the entire home. From our mobile device we can switch off the light, or turn on the ACs, or we can lock the door, we can open the door, we can turn on our cars, we can switch on the AC in our cars. Everything is possible. We can connect all the devices, all the appliances together in our home. So that is what smart home. The next one is, what is power line networking? For example, if you are in a situation or in a place where you are not able to establish wired network or wireless network, you can use the existing electrical power lines. Through that you can provide the network services. For that we need a special device which is known as a standard power line adapter. So the devices are connected with the standard power line adapter. The standard power line adapter is connected with the electrical lines, so through which we can send and receive the data. Here the power line adapter converts the data in certain frequencies, and then it transmits the frequencies in the electrical cables, through which we can use the existing electrical cables as a network cable, and we can transmit the data. So this is a latest invention, and it is very useful. Write any three examples for external threats and internal threats. External threats, we know that viruses, worms, Trojan horse, spywares, adwares, zero-day attack, threat actor attack, denial of service attacks, data interception and theft, identity theft. These are all the external threats. Internal threats are lost or stolen devices, accidental misuse by employees, and then malicious employees. What are the network security components used to protect the host and network devices? Okay, so in network, for example, if we take network, we have to protect our network. At the same time, we have to protect the devices connected in the network. For example, the host and end devices, how we are going to protect, how we are going to protect our network. So if you want to protect your end devices, for that we have to use the antivirus and antispyware software to protect the end devices. If you want to protect your network from the unauthorized users, you have to use the firewall and you have to filter the incoming packets, and then you have to allow only the authorized packets to enter the network. So that's all about the review. The question